Hey guys, welcome back to Dynasty Football Live. Today we're going to be bringing you another powerhouse with the AFC North. We're going to be bringing you the draft grades, baby. Burrow got some hard hitters in the past from this division, man. Got Chase, Lamar Jackson, we got J.K. Dobbins in here, George Pickens, Najee Harris. I mean, there have been some dynamite players drafted in this division. So it is my pleasure to hand it over to my co-host, Manny. Where we going today, buddy?
All right, we're going to start with the Steelers. I think we both kind of like what they did, and if you all watched our first round mock draft of the rookie mock draft, we had at least the first two picks. I mean, I messed up. I didn't pick Porter, but I had corner and tackle, so we got it right. Broderick Jones specifically, but anyways, I gave it a B plus. I really like what they did. I really, obviously with Najee kind of struggling his rookie year a little bit, getting hit behind the line of scrimmage. I think it was important that they, they kind of tried to address it yet last year in the offseason. It didn't quite work out. I think drafting Broderick Jones is going to do wonders for both Pickett and Najee Harris when it comes to the running game and pass protection. Joey Porter, amazing. I think it's a pretty good value. I think some people were saying he can go in the first round, so it was kind of nice to see him go back to the Steelers, even though I, for some reason, did not want to mock him there. But I think the Steelers draft for me, and I think he will be pretty fantasy relevant. It's going to be Darnell Washington. I think him being such a big body, not only in the blocking game when it comes to the goal line or any other blocking, run blocking situations, but I think he's going to be a huge target in the red zone. Maybe they'll go 12 personnel, and have two tight ends out there in goal line situations. And he's just such a mismatch. I'm really excited. That's a great value in the third round. So for me, I give him a B plus.
Yeah, it was a good draft for them. Man, it just seems like the Steelers always know how to find the steals and deals, man. I love their GM. Man, to get this tackle where they did at 14, I thought it was great value. I was actually with you on that pick when we did our first round mock. I thought it was a great left tackle for them to have. Najee had, surprisingly, a setback year to me. He wasn't what he was in his rookie year. I don't know why that was. I mean, I'm going to guess it was the offensive line. It could have been they figured him out and started stacking the box on him. I don't know, but Najee just really wasn't like the powerhouse that I saw him as when he was a rookie. But
they did have Big Ben, his rookie year, so maybe that had something to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a lot to do with having a rookie quarterback too. So, I had told you to draft this guy. I had
We would have been
told
2 for
you
2. We would have been
to
2 for
draft
2.
Joey Porter Jr. and put him on his dad's team. Thank God the Steelers, listened to me somehow, some way. I guess they. I thought that was really cool how they put him on their team. It was. I think doesn't Joey Porter coach?
I know he did. I don't know if he still does. Coach the Steelers. I think he coached the linebackers, but he definitely did coach the linebackers at some point, I think.
Yeah. Well, if he's anything like his father, they got an absolute steal in Joey Porter Jr. in the second round. For me, he had a mid to like maybe late round first grade. I didn't see him even slip into the late of the later rounds of the first. I thought he was going to end up maybe being the first cornerback off the board, maybe if not that, right behind Devin Witherspoon. So this dude's a talent in the second round. For me, Darnell Washington wasn't a need for them. I do like how they did bring in another tight end. A lot of these teams are going to these double tight end systems. You see it all over the board, just like with running backs. So every team now has two really good tight ends. So I think they have another superstar tight end coming in. I wouldn't say superstar, sorry. Let me rephrase that. He's a different being. Okay, this guy was built different. He's a monster, man. So we'll see how Darnell Washington does. For me, the grade is a B. I do like those three picks. The most dynasty relevant, obviously, will be Darnell Washington. I think you could get him in the fourth round just because he's kind of behind Pat Fryermuth, and Pat Fryermuth is not getting passed on the depth chart. So sorry if you think that, but it's not going to happen. And yeah, I own him. So yeah, I just had to.
Not biased
Anyway,
at all. No
yeah.
bias at all.
Yeah, no bias at all. But guys, I'm be honest. I don't see that happening. I think Pat Fryermuth is a true tight end. I think Darnell Washington is more of a blocking, goal line tight end. That's my comparison to him. And my pro comparison is Mercedes Lewis. He's the exact mold of a Mercedes Lewis. So which isn't bad. So
Yeah.
yep,
I
that's
think
my.
I think the big winner here is Najee, because of the blocking of Broderick Jones and Darnell Washington. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I
I
do
agree.
agree that Najee kind of took a step down a little bit last year. So maybe he'll bounce back with the additional help. But
Absolutely.
all right. Next we have the Cleveland Browns, who gave up all their picks. So they didn't. I mean, they had quite a few picks. So it's not like they gave up everything, but for that Watson trade. So for me, it was to be. I think Cedric Tillman in the third round was kind of a steal. I think he's kind of the forgotten man, being sort of banged up last year. I think what he did his junior year was, or his sophomore year rather, was incredible. You know, he kind of broke out and along with Hooker, and he was kind of hurt last year, and Hyatt kind of took all the spotlight. So he was kind of the forgotten man there. But I think getting him in the third round is a steal. I think he's going to have a big impact. I think Peoples Jones. I'm not 100% sure, what they think of Peoples Jones, or maybe if Cooper's kind of on his way out and it's going to be Peoples Jones, Tillman, and more. But I really like Tillman here. I think Ika definitely beefs up that defensive line. I think with the addition of God, what's his name? I should know. He was the Packer. Jones.
Oh yeah.
um, anyways, with that trade with the Vikings, him along with Garrett is going to be quite the tandem, and then Ika being such a large human being, it's going to definitely have a huge impact on the run. So for
Did they get
me,
Preston Smith? Is that who you're talking about?
no,
Is it
not Preston Smith, the other Smith.
his brother,
Uh,
right?
no, well, they're not brothers, but they
Oh, they're
called
not?
themselves.
Oh, I
No,
thought
they
they
just said
were.
that because they were both Smith.
Oh,
I just can't think of his name right now, but they did get him again with the Vikings. Um, DeJuan Jones, I think that's a good value in the fourth round. I really thought he might go a little bit early, maybe the second or third round. So getting him in the fourth is kind of a steal there. And last but not least, DTR. Obviously, having Watson there, he's not going to be asked to play right away. But I do think, he continued to get better throughout his college career. And he could be, if things go right and he is, they need him to play, I think he's going to come in and do a good job. So for me, it was a B, considering they didn't have a lot of early picks. So they definitely had some good value down the draft.
yeah. We're talking about a Browns franchise that has never had a quarterback. So, what they did to give up for Deshaun Watson, I'm only going to talk about this one time ever on this channel. I was a huge Deshaun Watson guy. I am a Texans fan. He was everything to our franchise. It was so hard to see him not want to play here. But I don't blame the guy, man. We had a wannabe GM coach that just ran our team like above and beyond into the ground. So if anyone that I dislike, it's not Deshaun Watson. I didn't like Bill O'Brien. I thought he was a good head coach, terrible GM. They should have never handed him the keys to the franchise like that. And I think they learned a valuable lesson, of what
Yeah.
not to do in the future. So I'm not going to get too far into Deshaun Watson. He didn't have too good of a year, but man, are they loaded at wide receiver? You're talking about Amari Cooper, traded for Elijah Moore. They have Donovan Peoples-Jones, right? They
Mm-hmm.
they drafted David Bell last year. Everyone was really high on him, including me. I drafted him. Now you own him. But I don't dismiss David Bell. I think he's going to come up and get a shot this year too. So a lot of people are forgetting David Bell. And then
Mm-hmm.
last but not least, you sprinkle on top another powerhouse is Cedric Tillman. Man, they are a lot of mouths to feed in this wide receiver court, dude. There's a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, that's you talking about 5, 6 receivers right there off the top of the dude. That's an amazing wide receiver room. I'm
Yeah.
sorry to say, Deshaun Watson, you don't come through this year, boy, the Browns are going to be on that ass, baby. I mean, that's a lot of
Yeah.
money they gave you, guaranteed. So, without a doubt, Cedric Tillman was a steal for me in the third. I thought he was a middle to early second round pick just because of the talent. Him and Jalen Hyatt. But, we saw where both these cats ended up landing, which ain't bad. Sometimes the weight is worth the weight, you know what I'm saying? So I think they landed in good teams. So
Mm-hmm.
that's good for them. DeJuan Jones was a steal for me. Obviously, they're in the fourth. Keeping the Ohio State kid there in Cleveland, that's pretty cool. DTR, I heard a lot of hype about this dude. I never really watched him that much in college. I know that he was a highly ranked quarterback coming into
Mm-hmm.
college. He had a big following, man, in college. A
Yeah.
lot of people love this guy.
Well,
I
he
think
had
he's
some
a
runs like Lamar Jackson.
yeah.
Like,
I did see that. I ended up watching the highlights to just check
yeah.
him out, and yeah, he looks good. So if there is a problem with Deshaun, I don't feel like it. There's a problem in Cleveland. I think this cat right here could come
Yeah.
in and shine. So I think that's a great pick for them for a backup for a future for him. Another guy that a lot of people, including myself, was really high on that ended up slipping here way down in the draft is Luke Weippler, the center out of Ohio State. So I thought, they got a tremendous value getting those two offensive linemen from one of the best teams in college football last year. So that helps Deshaun Watson out as well. So we'll see how that goes. My grade was kind of underwhelming just because they didn't add anything running back wise. I also think that they could have added some more defensive help as far as I some linebackers, but that's just my opinion. C plus for me.
All right. Next, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. It's so weird that this division. It's always been super competitive, but um, for a while there, Cincinnati was kind of sucking. So it's kind of weird that they're kind of the powerhouse leading the division.
Man.
But for me, it was an A for them. I think Miles Murphy in the back end of the first round was a really great pick. I really thought they might go tight end. I think you had that pick actually in our draft, and I think you drafted a tight end for them. I mean, I'm a little surprised they didn't get one. They do have Irv Smith, so maybe they, have confidence in him staying healthy. But anyways, Miles Murphy in the first round was a great pick. DJ Turner, extremely productive corner out of Michigan. Can't go wrong with anyone in the secondary in Alabama. I think Battle in the third round was a pretty good pick. As far as fantasy goes, two names: Charlie Jones and Chase Brown. Chase Brown going in the fifth round. I thought that was surprising to me, considering what he did last year. I was definitely obviously not expecting to be a first rounder or anything, but I think late second, early third round pick, and he ends up going the fifth round. And there's no one behind Nixon rather, or Nix. Crap. Yeah, there's no
Dixon?
one. I'm
You talking
sorry.
about Mixon? Joe
Mixon.
Mixon?
Yeah, Mixon.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, there's no one behind Mixon right now except for Chase Brown. I mean, I'm sure they have someone, but of relevance since Pirine left. Charlie Jones, extremely underrated. I think he's kind of a smaller wide receiver. I think he was 170 something in the combine, 5'10", something like that. Um, he's just a football player, dude. I don't know if you watch a lot of Purdue games, but him and O'Connell had some kind of connection where um, they just they just played lights out together. I think he's extremely underrated, and I think it's partly because of his size and partly um, just because of that Cincinnati wide receiver room being so crowded. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, especially with Boyd situation. I know, um, is it his contract year or
Yeah, he's up after this year, man, and I
and
think
then
he
Higgins too. So I
yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if maybe they let go of Boyd
Oh
and
yeah.
Charlie Jones kind of steps up because they got to sign one of them, and
Yeah,
Higgins is a
he's
lot
out of
younger.
there.
So
Yeah.
um, that's how much I believe in Jones. So
Yeah,
getting him in the fourth round is he's a very very good receiver. Um,
absolutely.
So yeah, for
Yeah.
me it's a B or an A. Sorry. And a one wide receiver that's kind of under the radar is Andre Iosivas out of Princeton.
Yeah.
He originally went to Hawaii, I believe, and then he transferred to Princeton. 6'3", 205, ran a 4.4. Um, Obviously, there's issues with him because he wouldn't have gone in the sixth round otherwise. But I think he is. He can be sneaky in there, maybe someone for the taxi squad.
You never
Um,
know.
the only problem with him is he doesn't use his hands consistently, more of a body catcher, but definitely has that size speed combo that's you look for it in the wide receiver position. So for me, it's an A.
Yeah, man. I thought the Bengals, man, as far as like their draft one, I thought they were pretty consistent. I would have liked to see them do a little bit more, like with the tight end. Maybe get a little bit more higher powered wide receiver, like a Cedric Tillman. I would have loved to see Tillman go here.
Yeah.
That would have been the perfect fit for me, like the best landing spot. Um, but they got Miles Murphy. They put him on the other side of Hubbard. That's a great defense, man. I'm super glad they got a cornerback and they got rid of Eli Apples. Uh, that's a bad apple to me, man. Eli Apple is just not, man. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
Um, probably
He
the
was
most,
too much. He was too much, dude. You can't
probably the
talk that much
most,
trash and
yeah.
not back it up.
It was like Michael Crabtree kept getting his chain taken by Aqib Talib. That was just embarrassing, dude. So, for me, dude, I like the Jordan Battle pick. I thought that was pretty good safety they got there to kind of hopefully replace the production they got out of Jesse Bates. He left for Atlanta, which they got a dog, man. I was hoping my Texans would have got him, but they didn't end up doing it. Chase Brown. Here we go. Let's get into our dynasty spotlight player on this team. For me, it's Chase Brown. Um, Mixon's looking like he may get out the door, man. Some way, somehow. I think this may be the end of the road. I need boys to men to start playing right now. Uh, for me, Chase Brown is a high second round pick. Possibly, if you like him that much and you're scared, Mixon owner, I might take this dude at 112 this year. For me, you got to get your handcuff if your big dog's on the way out because I feel like Chase Brown could come in and maybe start.
Yeah.
He's that good. This dude can hit the
Yeah.
brakes real quick. He's got electric moves, man. I'm a big fan of Chase Brown. I did a lot of research on this dude. Um, for me, man, get him if you can. Any way you can. He is definitely on my radar for sure. Um, I like Chase Brown. So, with that being said, they get a B plus from me. I'm not gonna go too much into their draft, but yeah, I like what they did with Chase Brown. That's my guy. So glad they got a reliever in there for mixing because you saw the Bengals kind of struggle when not really last year because Pirine, but like years before
Yeah.
when Mixon went down. that offense just wasn't like, it was still good, but it wasn't what it was when Mixon was back there. So
Yeah.
I don't think they
Which
have a
is weird
problem.
because they had Pirine too, so I don't know.
Yeah, man. I was hoping my perfect pick for the Bengals was Dalton Kincaid. That's who I wanted to go here. I thought that would have been
Oh
the
yeah,
man for
hundred
Burrow,
percent.
man.
I
God, man, that
wonder.
would
I
have been
wonder
awesome.
if they would have if the Bills hadn't gotten him earlier. But
Bills wisened
um,
up, man. They got see Josh Allen is tired of getting beat by Mahomes and Kelsey, so they went and got Allen is Kelsey. So that's pretty good, man. I'm glad for the Bills, but we'll get into that one later. Who we got next here, Manny?
next we have the Baltimore Ravens. Um, I gave him a B plus. I think Trenton Simpson in the third round was a great pick. I think he was projected to go a little bit earlier. Some had him in the late first, second round. He is a linebacker, so you know, not less valued position, but he is sideline to sideline speed, incredible player. Zay Flowers in the first round. They definitely needed help at wide receiver, even though obviously they got OBJ now there. Um, the question is the landing spot. Is am I still concerned that he went to Baltimore with Lamar Jackson? To be honest, if what I've heard is true that they're going to change the offense and be a little more balanced, then I'm not concerned because Zay Flowers is a beast. He's not very big, but he reminds me a lot of Steve Smith, and if they are a little more balanced, I'm not worried about Lamar Jackson's ability to throw the ball. I think he can throw it very well. It's just that the way their offense was structured previously, it was a little more obviously run heavy and asked them to do a lot more running. I think after paying him the money, they're not going to want him to run this much, even though he will still run some. It's going to be a little more balanced, so I think Zay Flowers is going to be a star. Um, if he went anywhere else, he'd probably be drafted a little bit higher, but you know, obviously there's still a little bit of concern with Lamar Jackson, but I really like this pick and I like this draft. The Ravens know how to draft,
Yeah,
so for
always,
me it's a
always.
B plus.
Yeah, the Ravens are always hitting it, just like the Steelers, man. It seems like the Ravens and the Steelers, man, they always have like star-studded drafts, dude, and it
Hmm.
makes me so jealous because I'm like, God, why? So yeah, let's get this started. I gave him a B. I did like the Zay Flowers pick. I do think he is the. I don't know, man. I got a different comp on him. I comp him to like maybe a poor man's Antonio Brown before Antonio Brown went batshit crazy. Uh, I really like his game. I think that he's electric. They got a stud in Zay Flowers, guys. This guy right here is our dynasty spotlight on this team player. So we need to go get him. I'm gonna say if you need wide receiver, I'm gonna put him in front of Jordan Addison. I know I'm gonna take heat for this, but man, he's for me he's a better wide receiver prospect, and I don't care. I'm on this channel, y'all ain't. So if you want to just write in the comments how bad this is, I don't
Take.
care. But yeah, let's go. Come on, we're waiting on these comments. I want to hear the heat, man, because I think Zay Flowers is a better prospect than Jordan Addison. So that's my opinion, and he could go anywhere from the fourth pick to the eighth pick. That's really what we're looking at landing spots for Zay Flowers. That's how good I think he is. Another steal, Trenton Simpson. I couldn't believe my eyes when this pick came in. I thought he had already went off and been picked in the second. I missed a lot of picks after day one, but when I saw this pick in the third round, I just could not believe my eyes. I was like, he's still on the board. What is going on here? This dude was electric at Clemson, man. I mean, one of the best linebackers they've ever had at that school.
Hmm.
So, another good value they had, and then I'm going to end this the Ravens, draft, grade. Andrew Voorhees, wow, he slid so far in this draft, man. This was a high end guard at USC that I thought was going to be picked in the second, third round, and everybody else did. I don't know why he slid. I'm guessing there's some kind of maybe injury concerns there, but man, got a deal on him in the seventh. Man, that was a
Mhm.
great pickup. So, anyways, yeah, man, that's my grade for the Ravens. It just really wasn't like after the Trenton Simpson, pick. I was like, eh, I guess whatever. They're just roster spots to me. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, let's go to the next one. Who we got next?
I know that's it. That's all we have.
All right. Well, see, I was hoping that we could talk some more about the Steelers. Let's let's just pump the brakes. We'll save that for another time. But hey, guys, please like and subscribe. Come back, see us. We love hearing from you. We want you part of the team here at DFL. We're gonna do everything we can to get you ready for your draft and ready for the NFL season,
hmm
man. 'Cause it's gonna be a good one. You got anything else to add here, Manny, before we cut out?
Sedarius Smith is the name. I just want to say
Got
that
it.
I knew his name. I didn't look it
You know
up. I
what?
promise.
Man, that's a wild name. Yeah, Zadarius. I can't even remember nothing. But anyway, hey, I'm gonna bring it to you like Zadarius does, baby, and we're going Dynasty Football out.